March, I got 4 brothers.
Yeah, they won't be missed.
Are you all twins?
Come on.
Is it everybody's birthday?
Are you all twins?
They're all 2 years old.
Wouldn't it be nice for everybody to come here and see you in a meeting and then go out and celebrate?
You celebrate the whole day, Todd?
It'd be nice and early.
Yeah, really, what are you, 6?
Actually, so it's a bad time of the year to have.
Of course it is a bad time of year. I'm
But
still
we're
for
talking
the
10.
You don't get Christmas.
Well, you get a stripper,
Sometimes they
so
forget to celebrate. Celebrating youths.
10? No.
No.
No, it's,
Yeah, he can do it tomorrow. He's working. He got stuck on a 12-hour shift.
he's not gonna make a rational decision now anyway, so we'll just ask him
Figure
tomorrow.
on,
Ask him
making it
Monday.
7 or
Make it
7:30.
Figure on 7:30.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
For me, if I can.
Remember that. Those are always the tricky meetings. If you're thinking 7:30 and it's 7 o'clock.
BYOB.
So do we have anything else for new or unfinished business?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Morrisville Little League.
Oh, yeah.
What's our situation with that?
That's not a quick question.
Well, I sent the letter to everybody got it. I think that was kind of a slap in the face. From what I heard, they were gonna pay us. Just telling council that they were gonna do what they feel that they're gonna do, I think is not a good way to,
Maintain a friendly relationship.
You mean you got a letter from them or you sent them?
I sent, everybody got the letter.
From who?
From,
Marshall Little League. We sent them an invoice.
yeah.
They sent us back.
Like
I didn't
months
see the
ago.
letter.
It's in your packet.
Right, it's in the,
Probably in the box.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's in the box.
No,
We had a public meeting with them, we were
no,
prepared
let Vic look
to
at it.
go for it, and they.
Here, that was months ago.
And they basically said they want the same deal as,
Like last year.
no, not even.
The hockey?
It's not even.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's their position.
You didn't cash the check, correct?
Yeah, but you only have how many days?
And on a previously
Eight-
unutilized slab
And
of
he's not an
concrete.
We took up 8
accredited
hours
organist.
of part-time on unused asphalt, 8 hours.
There's no
Asphalt.
comparison, really.
None.
They upgraded themselves.
So,
How can you compare
You can't.
Little League does that
eight
too.
games on a corner of the park
But no one uses.
for the season?
And Bob, you said that you didn't have any information when we voted that to 15,000, and I actually have a copy in the minutes in November when we did.
yeah, we looked
It
it up.
did pass, so, yeah, but in the budget where it's 10, it's not, it was 15. And I
Well, I was
added up,
hoping for at least
I think
10
it's up
this
to
year.
10.
I added up just the electric portion that we pay for them, and that's without till the end of the year, and we're at $3,100 that we put out for the electric on our bills every month. So, I mean, that's,
Probably right.
I know it is, I added
We
it
didn't cost them any electric.
up. I mean,
You
that's
should
just
think
for
about that
that.
game though.
Well, what I'm suggesting
When
in
this
the
is all
council,
over,
I don't think we need to do a vote on this, is that we'll send the letter back rejecting their offer and just point blank saying that,
There was no
by
comparison.
December 31st, we
So never discussed
requested
this with us.
payment in full. If not, we will turn this matter over to our solicitor.
I think we should have the solicitor draw up that memorandum of understanding, so they know too. Because they feel they don't have to follow anything. And the unfortunate part, we've talked about it before, is that they change coaches all the time. So if you got somebody from like 4 or 5 years ago, the new guy doesn't know what was said or done or what
That's
was
true, the
followed.
presidents who are changing.
Yeah, because these guys say they never showed a roster.
Well, I agree
yet
that with that
they did.
100%. I think it was, should have been when they should have signed a contract for 15,000.
Right, and
Last year, baseball turned over their rosters was, I believe, 2009.
when George Mount retired.
That was the
And
last
after
year.
that, they were never asked to, but it's in the minutes where he did get their rosters and he got their game schedule.
And they agreed at the
They never
public
had.
meeting that you were at.
Yes,
Yeah.
Turn
they
the
agreed
rosters
to
in
turn over the
September.
roster, they agreed to turn over the list,
Mention all that.
Finance.
and they agreed to turn over their finances, which they stated that
And they
they
made some thousand
closed
last year.
in September. So,
Well, I just don't, I think the biggest part of it all is that they sent us them checks, $200-300 checks, and was
Right.
telling us what the agreement
Exactly.
was. I mean,
How do they know? Well, they know.
changed a lot.
well, they utilized
Pay
the
that?
street hockey league, paid $300.
You know what, if they're trying to do
Is
a
that a traveling
comparison
team?
on what
Some
Phil
of
was
them are,
paying with the, with that,
There's a difference in the traveling team and
Correct.
untraveling
do a time study.
If you did that, and you went according to our
Square footage
fee schedule, which is set, and we're about to vote on it, is 15 for our kids, and 30 for kids outside of the borough, that's what we
Per
said, back when
Square
this whole
footage
fight
times
first
time
started,
used.
and they decided
And
they
we'll
were
extrapolate
gonna.
out from year 300, what they.
8 hours. That's all it took.
If he
That's what
had
I'm
to pay
saying. They use
15,
it 15
I
hours
don't
a
feel
day.
comfortable even starting that conversation. They shouldn't even be looking at other anything. This is a totally,
They brought that up.
Yeah, that's out of order.
Exactly.
That's an insult.
Well, why don't we just lock them out for one season?
Well, that's what
We may
somebody
get there.
suggested to go down.
That was an insult.
That would change it to.
we paid the insurance on those buildings, all of that.
They have an ace up their sleeve because I don't think somebody would write a
Well, did you
letter
read
like
the
that unless
paper
they.
yesterday? Lower Mayfield,
Did you write a letter like that?
Snipes,
I,
owns the property off of Quarry Hill Road, and they wanna make it a sports complex, Lower Mayfield.
It's actually gonna turn into an AstroTurf field
Might be surprised.
for football.
Just for football?
Football, and let me tell you, the residents are not
Ski boots.
happy at all, because
Football, just football?
that's what it was going to be an
All right, then we're
AstroTurf
back in-
field for football.
Well, you're talking about Lower
The one-
Mayfield?
The one on Quarry Road,
That's,
yeah.
that's their own deal.
Where is that?
They're spending
It's
over
Quarry
$1
Hill
million.
what?
Street farm.
To
make
make
it
it
be Christmas
golf
tree.
course, stuff by the Mayfield golf course.
I don't like golf.
Quarry, well,
It's
Lyndon
right off
Hirsch
the Darlington
Road,
Road.
Okay.
off of Lyndon
Lyndon
Hirsch,
Hirsch.
they go right on.
The taxpayers don't want the field, they don't
Right.
want lights, they don't want noise, they don't want any of that.
Great to see.
the only thing is the
All right,
football season.
that's why we have a problem.
Are we good?
I'm good.
I don't have anything else for this agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Wait,
Wait, I'm sorry, on your wage sheet, there's, must be a typo, because underneath the manager's assistant, it says 20,000. In our budget, it's 10.
might be two separate spots.
No, it should have been
Okay.
10.
Oh, and one thing to add to the agenda is 7F, junior council persons report. Yeah. Just, you gotta put it in the template, that's all.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So now, do we have that motion to adjourn by Vic?
Wait, I got just a couple things I wanted to just mention. In the fee schedule, I want to ask a couple questions. It was brought up about National Night Out, not paying for certain vendors, I guess you would call it. I'm taking it was the ones that were nonprofits. You're saying every vendor has
No, I
to
think
pay
it
a
was,
fee.
I think they took it as food vendors paid, but non-food vendors did.
And who would be the non-food vendors?
Oh, there were people there selling drones, they were selling candles.
Jumpy houses and
Bouncing
Bull
houses-
rides,
bouncing
drones?
paid.
Yeah, like you could buy in a box, a drone.
Because you had to turn in your certificate.
Okay, so the nonprofits aren't paying, correct?
the food people pay.
I'm not sure.
Only because in our schedule, when it has how, who's paying, it's called transient retail merchants. Right, so that would be,
Makes sense.
right, that would be a merchant. Right, it
Well-
wouldn't be,
That's not
For
likely,
profit,
in-
I would
that's
say.
not likely in the park though.
Think of it that way, for profit.
That would be like a
A
food
merchant
truck.
is almost always a profit, a merchant.
So if they're doing something, money's going to
Right.
something they shouldn't have to pay. But if they're making money off of what they're doing, they should be obligated to pay for a license.
so our nonprofits aren't paying for anything like that, correct?
Yeah.
They aren't being charged for that.
So you're saying they come in for a day, like a food truck, they have to buy a license?
No, but a license. they have to
If they're
get
selling on
permit.
public property.
Just permit to do business on Morrisville property.
And it's only
That's
good
true
for
with,
the day.
that's true with all merchants.
That's how it works, it's only good for the day and then.
Yeah.
That depends on the municipality, I'm sure, but here is the day. Like in Philadelphia, you could have a spot that you go to with your food truck.
Right, you spend
For X
$1,800 for a whole year if you want.
But-
They usually do, at least it does.
Do have a motion to adjourn.
I didn't go
Second.
first, the second.
Hey,
Didn't hear Nancy, did that too.
I
Oh,
know, everybody wants to
sorry,
just
well,
get right out.
we had the motion, and it was seconded.
What's your question?
Yeah, what is your
We
question?
want to continue.
Well, this is why we got all this, right? So if we had any questions we could ask, I mean, so what's this for? Excuse me?
We went over.
You didn't have a fee schedule when we
the agenda though, for, never mind,
Go ahead, Deb.
it's, that.
Oh, yeah, I got another announcement to make.
They'll be in permission because they're noise.
You get that?
When it comes to the rental deposits, and then we have the, what you actually get charged, why is it the same? We're charging like an astronomical amount for a deposit and then
You get the deposit back.
for damages? Is that what that other one's for? So we're charging a total of like 600 and 620?
Well, they get the deposit back.
If there's no damages, the
Okay.
deposit is forfeited.
Mhm. Then it should say that, it says rental deposits and rental, and then facility rentals. It just seems like that's a lot. Shouldn't it be just half of what that would be? If you're setting an amount, it shouldn't be a portion of what it would be? That seems like a lot. That's just me, my opinion on it, but that seems a lot.
Well, it's
Yeah,
always
we get
worked
the money
that
back.
way, so.
We didn't change anything on that fee schedule, I don't think.
No, I'm just saying, I'm noticing on it. And because it's been brought up several times also about who pays, as far as the vendor, so to me, a transient, retail merchant would be someone that's actually making a profit.
Yeah.
I will make sure it's not any of the nonprofits that are selling something that the money goes back to their organization. They shouldn't be getting charged for that. Because if you've got Boy Scouts or the dog park or any of them, their money is not.
Well, here's a good
Yeah,
phrase.
if you're a 501.
If that gentleman had a bouncy house and he was charging and he was donating the money to a cause,
Mm-hmm,
he wouldn't be charged.
okay,
But if he's making actual profit
right.
for himself,
Right.
then he has to pay.
I-
Because
I
we're
mean,
giving
those
the
people are paid.
opportunity to make money on
Right.
that property.
Let me correct you. When we started National Night Out 3 years ago, did not know that the vendors,
Mhm.
not the food trucks, the vendors had to pay. So when we filled out all of our paperwork,
Mhm.
and we were told who we had to get licenses for and who had to turn it over to the borough, we were told the food vendors.
Okay, you were told.
We were
that.
not told the other vendors.
Okay,
So now going next year, we know that anyone that has a for-profit table
mhm,
outside of the food vendors has to pay $25. Nonprofits will still be free.
okay.
So going forward, now we know, well, for the last 3 years, it was not explained to us that way. So when we went and we picked up our permit,
Right,
no one said anything. They handed us the permit.
all right.
So,
One more note, our professionals after the next meeting when we adjourn is inviting everyone to Dacey's for some appetizers and some cocktails, and
When is this?
after our next meeting on the
On the
19th.
30th.
No, on the 19th. And
On Monday,
I would
19th.
suggest on,
Oh, we can all vote in the electoral college then.
It's well after your bedtime.
That's when the electoral.
I would suggest that we take this opportunity to hopefully get to know one another outside of council chambers and.
Oh, I know these people well enough.
Really?
You wanna know them anyway.
Yeah, we should talk there.
What do you think, Bill?
Yeah.
I know you
As
will.
long
Well,
as
what's between there and here? I mean, outside of here.
Well, because you're doing, if we're on,
We just can't discuss anything we've been voting on. We can,
So everybody bring your favorite interests and we can talk about
yeah.
it for a little bit, and we'll talk about baseball.
but, I think this is a nice
Baseball.
thing, I think, we would suggest do this a
No,
couple
I think
times.
he means Major League Baseball.
Oh, Little League baseball.
Oh, so where we at?
We can't talk
So-
baseball.
Wait, one more thing, so is council telling me to move forward on aggressively going after baseball, getting our 15,000?
I am, yes.
Especially if they gave us $300.
Got that letter.
Absolutely.
I think
That
we
letter.
can
Give us
reevaluate our
600.
costs.
No, they
For
gave us
next
3
year.
for
No,
last
they
year.
gave us 3, yeah.
That letter.
They're in the
I
year.
think so.
No, they paid 10,000 last year. That's the thing, they paid 10,000.
Did they pay it?
Yeah, they paid it very, very late.
I thought we
But
went
they paid it.
15 and we ended up taking 10.
No,
And then-
they-
But
No,
then
they-
this
they
year,
set the amount the first time.
they sent 3 for this year. 3
this
for
year
next
they wanted to pay 10,000 and we as a council voted 15,000.
Right.
So they're probably
It was
upset about that.
never, it was never.
$300
they
versus
brought
probably
back
all the things
before.
they
Right.
They didn't wanna do a head
Definitely.
I wonder if they, do they have meetings and talk about
As
these
a matter of
things?
fact, I do on Thursday.
And Danielle goes to them.
I do. It should be fun.
They must not like it very much.
Well, this
They do
Thursday.
not like me, no.
I can hardly
I
believe
really
that.
don't
That's
care.
very difficult for me to believe.
So-
Oh, so it's your fault.
This was our discussion on the adjournment, I believe. We had our first, we had our second.
It was, Vic was the first,
Vic and Corinne.
second.
Okay, can I have another motion to adjourn, please?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm staying.
7-0.
I'm starting to think this is place in my home.
Todd just gave me one. Thank you.
So then we're
Is
gonna
this
meet
supposed
soon, in
to-
4 or in 5 on the
I
30th.
didn't mean-
Correct.
Probably around
Shooting for
7,
seven.
Meeting,
depending on
Do
Ted's
you know if she's
availability.
gonna platform?
Correct.
No,
Because Todd is
I'm just working on it.
starting his birthday
Well,
celebration.
they might have
He's like a
worked out.
pharaoh.
We'll know tomorrow.
They used to have a birthday for the entire year.
He's gonna say, guys, if you're
If I
gonna throw
can
me a
get
surprise
something
party,
printed,
don't.
Look like a
No,
pharaoh.
no, no.
this with.
Or make
No,
sure
it's
it's
the
not.
same thing that we do, because they keep,
Maybe
they
the
keep.
surprise party.
Okay, well, I can get
So I don't
my
wanna-
fancy one.
Yeah, so it's like, it's all here.
I gave you.
We can do that anyway. Oh, yeah?
No, I've gotta go to the restroom, so Dave's got it now.
Make me one, I want one. Do the, like the print screen, you do t-shirts. You should get us all t-shirts.
He, actually has got a billboard, we don't
No,
know.
it wasn't advertised.
What is it?
Are you going Thursday or no? You still want me to?
However, though, again.
It's
like I
not,
said,
you always
that
wondered that. I
I
don't
have
know
to
much
order
about
a
it.
committee,
Not too
the
bad.
14 person on that list.
I don't know why I thought it was right. For some reason, I thought it was cheaper than naturals. I don't know. I never know that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know, 5,000 a month.